Ready? Action.
Hi, welcome to Bobby Cinema Theater. I'm Bobby Cinema, but you can call me BC. Today is March 22nd and my 7th week of my webcast live at Bobby Cinema. We're introduced to new movies and DVDs that's out this week. We're going to make my final grade on the movie out this week. Go onto my website where you can read the plot and watch the movie trailers.
Action.
The first movie this week is Meet the Browns, starring Tyler Perry and Angela Bassett. Written, directed, and produced by Tyler Perry. Distributed by Lionsgate. To look at this movie, I recommend people watching this movie in hope and despair about a single woman meeting her dead biological dead family they never met before and become part of the family. For this movie, a B-.
Action.
The next movie that's out is Drill Blood Taylor, starring Owen Wilson and Leslie Mann. Directed by Stephen Brill, produced by Judd Apatow and Susan Arnold, distributed by Paramount Pictures and Apatow Productions. As I look at this film, I recommend people watching this movie. Owen Wilson made an extraordinary performance in this film. My hat's off to him. I rate this movie a B.
Action.
The next movie out this week is Shudder, starring Joshua Jackson and Rachel Taylor, directed by Musaka Ochoa, produced by Doug Davison, and distributed by 20th Century Fox. I took a look at this film. I don't recommend people watching this film. This is the worst horror film I've ever seen since The Ring. They should get better actors and better writers for this film. I rate this movie a C-. The last movie out this week is The Hammer, starring Adam Carolla, directed by Charles Herman Warrenfield, produced by Gregory Firestone, and distributed by Bentley Film Group. I took a look at this movie. I recommend people watching this movie about an unemployed construction worker who got fired. The last movie out this week is The Hammer, starring Adam Carolla, directed by Charles Herman Warrenfield, produced by Gregory Firestone, and distributed by Bentley Film Group. I took a look at this movie. I recommend people watching this film about an unemployed construction worker who got fired from his job, and it has a great gift of boxing. And has a great chance to go to the Olympics. And Carolla made an extraordinary performance in this film, like an underdog, like Rocky can go the distance. My hat's off to him. Rate this movie a B+. That's all the movies that are out this week. The next movie that's out on DVD is Southland Tale, starring The Rock, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Sean William Scott. Written and directed by Richard Kelly, produced by Tin Ham, and just by Samuel Golden Films, Selling Pictures Home Entertainment, and Universal Pictures. I took a look at this movie. I recommend people watching this film. This is a great suspense and drama in this film. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Sean William Scott, and The Rock make extraordinary performance in this film. My hat's off to them. Rate this movie a B+. The next movie out on DVD is Enchanted, starring Patrick Dempsey, Amy Adams, James Marsden, and Susan Sarandon. Directed by Kevin Lima, produced by Christopher Chase, and by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. I've seen the movie. I recommend people watching this movie, bringing a fairy tale to life in the real world. Giselle is from a modern fairy tale, accidentally fell into the real world with no happily ever after, and changes things in there forever. Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey make extraordinary performances in this film, like Cinderella and Prince Charming met in different roles. My hat's off to them. I rate this movie a A-. The movie that's out on DVD this week is I Am Legend, starring Will Smith, directed by Francis Lawrence, produced by David Hyman, and produced by Warner Brothers and Village Roadshow. I took a look at this film. I recommend people watching this film. Will Smith made an extraordinary performance in this film about a scientist and his daughter trying to survive after everybody died in the plague and face some zombies. My hat's off to him. I rate this movie an A. My next movie out this week is Atonement, starring James McAvoy and Keira Knightley, directed by Joe Wright, produced by Tim Bevan, and just by Universal Pictures and Focus Features. I took a look at this movie. I recommend people watching this movie on DVD about a couple who were lost in a few years and found each other along the way in the War of 1935. James McAvoy and Keira Knightley made an extraordinary performance in this film. My hat's off to them. Rate this movie an A.
Action.
That's all the time we have today. Come back next week where I introduce the new movies out this week and on DVD. Don't forget to log into my website where you can look into my new trailers, play my movie trivia, and my puzzle. This is BC. See you next week. Now get out.
Thank you.